I sluggishly sit up on my bed and wipe the sleep from my eyes. The early morning light bleeds through my blinds. Admittedly, I didn't get much sleep last night. After I got back home, I just went upstairs to think of what I was going to do today. I might have my mind set on what I'm going to do, but how are Jasmine and especially Yuri going to react? I gulp. Deep breaths, Monica. Deep breaths. After having a moment to myself, I get up from my bed and get my uniform from the closet. As I'm getting dressed, multiple thoughts race through my head, both about yesterday and the day ahead. Some positive, some negative, some that I mentally kick myself for how stupid they sound. Eventually, after readjusting my ribbon and give and give eventually I readjust my ribbon and give one last look at myself in the mirror. You can do this, Monica. I take some deep breaths before stuffing my bag and the note I wrote for Yuri last night into my bag. Not not the bag. I then make my way downstairs. I decide to skip breakfast. I can easily get something from a vending machine later. As I sit slouched on the sofa, I realize I've still got a decent amount of time before I usually walk down to Jasmine's house. And especially since both Mom and Dad typically leave for work before I even get up, I'm just left alone with my thoughts. It doesn't take me long to eventually say screw it and just leave to meet Jasmine. I'm sure it wouldn't mind me being early. I make sure to lock up before I head down. Then, after making sure I've got everything, I start to walk down. Even though I've been up for a while, I still feel a little tired from the night before. Waking up at waking up at 4:30 in the morning didn't help my case either, but I couldn't get back to sleep, and I thought my sleep schedule was fucked up. I make a mental note to pick up an emergency... Time to get an emergency drink. I make a mental note to pick up an empty... I make a mental note to pick up an energy drink from the store before school this morning. Just then there's a knock at the door. I check my phone. 6:04 a.m. Monika doesn't usually show up until 6:45, and chances are say you're only just getting up. Got up? Slightly curious, I go to answer the door. Morning, Jasmine. I know I'm early, but I just wanted to see you. My face relaxes as a smile forms across my lips. My instincts then take over as I embrace Monika lovingly. I missed you so much. My speech comes out a little muffled as my face is pressed against Monika's shoulder. I missed you so much. There you go. Method acting. Before Monika... Where did the before come from? Monika pats my back, giving a slight giggle as she does so. I miss you too. She then pulls away, looking a little down. Moni? Jasmine, She looks away momentarily. I'm sorry about yesterday. For lashing out at you and Yuri. For everything. Monika struggles to hold in tears. Monika? If anything, I should be apologizing. I did keep prodding at everything, you know. I scratch at my neck. Monika then clutches my hand, still looking fairly sheepish. Do you think Yuri hates me? That's certainly one hell of a conclusion to jump to of one little outburst, isn't it? If anything, Yuri seemed more in shock than anything. No, I don't think Yuri hates you. Could she be upset with you? That's likely. But I highly doubt she'd hate you. Monika nods, slowly resting her forehead on my chest. I wrap one of my arms around her, allowing her to have a moment to herself. You wanna come inside? I was gonna make some coffee before you knocked. Monika looks up, her gaze locked onto me as I use my thumb to wipe some of her tears. Yeah. I'd like that. I then let go of her, allowing her to easily slip past me and into my house. I used allowing because No, letting does make sense, but for some reason it didn't make sense there for me for moments. I needed to change the word. I follow her in soon after. After a couple of minutes, I walk back into the living room with 2 mugs of coffee. As I walk in, though, I notice Monika's eyes glued onto a sheet of paper. Rather than ask about it straight away, I place our drinks on the table and take a seat next to her. Monika gives me a gentle smile and nods, silently thanking me. We sit together in silence, said silence only being broken whenever either of us sip our respective drinks. The coffee's a little bit on the strong side this morning, but after last night is deserved. And judging by the look on her face, Monika seems to appreciate the strength. I look over to the sheet Monika has been reading over. From the few bits I can make out, it seems to be an apology for Yuri. At a guess, I'm assuming that was part of why Sayuri wanted to talk to her yesterday. I crack a smile as I give her shoulder a gentle squeeze. She emits a soft hum. I'm proud of you, hun. She then rests her head on my shoulder, a wide smile taking over her lips. You think it's gonna work? Honestly, I don't exactly know, but I'm hopeful. To be fair, this was more Sayuri's idea. I was actually stumped for ideas. It's funny though. I helped you with the exact same thing after her first serious spat with Natsuki, and it didn't occur to me to do the same thing. I pat her back. Don't worry, it happens sometimes. Yeah, that's why I don't blame when there's a few conflicts that reoccur even though they've already been discussed in the side stories, because some habits are hard to let go and sometimes you can tell things to others and still struggle following them yourself. I've seen a lot, especially out of my friend group, telling others specific things that they admire about that person. That's what I've noticed a lot. Wow, you're this and that, and they're the same thing, but they don't really notice it in themselves or just can't find in themselves to appreciate it, even though they appreciate it in others. I like to jumble my words, but that's in German the same thing, so I think I might just have struggle speaking sometimes. Or I just speak very fast. But I don't know how to stop speaking fast sometimes. A couple more minutes pass and Monika and I soon finish our drinks. I stand up from my seat, picking up both mugs as I do so. Sometimes I struggle with the S, I feel like. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. I know I struggle probably with a few more letters, perhaps. But I get the feeling I might struggle with the S the most. I'll observe myself as I read. And speak. I'm just gonna rinse these out thoroughly. Quickly. And I like to change words. Just wait outside for me. Monika nods as she collects her things and leaves. After giving the mugs a thorough rinse, I leave them on the side and head out. As I lock the door, I hear a familiar voice chatting to Monika. I turn around and, as expected, spot Sayori. Morning, Sayo. Morning, Jasmine. You better seem to be doing better. Squiggly line. Sayori beams at us. She seems relieved. Thankfully, yeah. How would I try to do it in a sing fashion? Thankfully, yeah. Again, thank you for yesterday, Sayori. Hey, it's no biggie. Next time, though, just know you can come to me. And that goes for the pair of you. Sayori quickly gives Monika a worried look. It's a look that Monika doesn't seem to notice, but I'm quite curious about. But I don't think it'd be right to bring that up to right now. Given what Sayori's like, I'm sure she'd bring it up with me. When that time will be, I'm not sure. But I'm certain of it. Anyway, you two ready to go? Both girls nod and we start walking down, Monika clutching my hand firmly. During the walk, the three of us spark a lively conversation. However, I have this feeling that Sayori's that Sayori's biting her tongue about something. I'm not used to Sayo. Just gotta figure out the right time to ask. Another school day drags to its inevitable end, and I once again find myself in the literature club. For the first time in a while, I'm the last one in. Surprisingly though, Natsuki is the first to greet me. Sup, Jasmine? Hey, short stack. How's it going? It's not very often I get the first name in with Nat, but her reactions are always priceless. I ain't seen you all day and that's the first thing you say. I'm shocked at how unoriginal you are. I get a chuckle out of her fox outburst. Also, I'm doing pretty good. Natsuki pauses for a moment. You seem to be doing better. She then looks behind me. I look back quickly to see Monika and Sayori talking by the front desk before focusing back to the pink-haired girl. You two still good? Like, I know it's not really any of my business, but I know how much you two care about each other, you know? Yeah, Monika and I are good. We had a little talk about it this morning. I then lower my voice. She's gonna try apologize to Yuri as well. I mean, Yuri is quite forgiving. Probably a little too forgiving sometimes. But hopefully they'll be able to patch things up. Hopefully, yeah. I then turned from Natsuki and started heading towards the front desk. Just as I do so, Sayori walks towards Nat and Yuri. She flashes me a gentle smile. Her eyes, however, carry that same concern from this morning. And to be completely honest, it's actually starting to get me worried, especially with the way she's been looking at Monika. Just what did they talk about yesterday? Jasmine? You okay? I'm pulled back into reality by Monika's gentle voice. Oh, she wants you in reality, don't you worry. Yeah, of course. Sorry, I was just spacing out. Monika proceeds to squeeze my cheek. Wouldn't be if you didn't space out every so often. She grins proudly as my face flushes crimson. We usually have a habit of teasing each other when we're alone, but she's recently been being a lot more public with it. This, however, is the most forward she's been with her teasing in front of others. I stammer as I attempt to regain my composure. How have you been? I've been good. Still a bit nervous about the whole thing with Yuri. Monika makes a nervous glance towards where Yuri is sat. I take a seat on the edge of the desk, silently pondering what to say. Eventually I sigh, looking towards her. Moni. I keep my voice low as Monika looks back at me with eyes that convey the message I'm lost. I don't know how Yuri's gonna react when you apologize, but all I can say is you've given it a decent amount of thought. And even if it takes her a while to accept it, at least it goes to show that you're truly sorry. I give her arm a squeeze as I notice the weight of what she plans to do starting to drag her down. Like I said this morning, I'm proud of you. I'm gonna be there for you no matter what. Monika's smile shines bright as I wipe her forming tears with my thumb. She readjusts her uniform and stands upright. She then pulls a neatly folded piece of paper from her pocket, presumably the note for Yuri. I'm gonna do it. I give Monika's arm another soft squeeze for reassurance. I suppose some people do that. Go for it, sweetheart. I watch as Monika goes over towards the other three girls. You initially shrinks a little into herself as soon as she notices Monika standing in front of her, but she soon relaxes. Monika speaks gently from what I can tell, but she seems to be keeping her voice low. Either that, or I've suddenly gone deaf. Deaf. I'm not sure if I said death or deaf. After a minute, both Mon and Yuri leave the room in silence. Monika returns to reading her manga and Sayori starts to walk over to me. Jasmine, we need to talk. Her face wears that same worried expression from this morning. I lower my voice as to not attract Natsuki's attention. About Monika? Sayuri nods wordlessly. Well, we were talking yesterday. She brought what happened with Yuri at the weekend. Then she started crying and going on about her being a mess. And how her dad was right about her being. Sayuri pauses for a brief moment, only to clear her throat. About her being an emotionally unstable wreck. And apparently that's not even the worst thing he's called her. She looks away from me with a tangible sadness in her gaze. I don't know, would Sayuri tell that to the others, even though Monika has asked her specifically not to do that? I suppose she might struggle keeping it inside. To say I'm shocked would be beyond an understatement. Sure, I gathered that her dad made off remarks about Monika seeming stupid to him, but this? I'm speechless. I feel my chest beginning to rise at a rapid pace. Just how the hell can he say that about his own daughter? Jasmine! I'm snapped out of my bout of internal dread by Sayuri. Sorry, I looked down. I gotta be honest with her. Just hearing what he called her, it just made me... Don't worry, I understand. Sarah rests a hand on my shoulder and gives me a comforting smile. But I'm worried she might be doing something to herself. A pit forms in my stomach. Doing something to herself? Are you saying she's... It's a worry of mine, but I might be overthinking it. She looks away with a tinge of regret in her eyes. I want to say it's merely an overreaction, but given what Monika confessed to me last week, do I really want to take that chance? I don't think it would be out of character to say Monika might do something to herself. In the main game she showed she is capable of doing it, and while she was more inspired by Yuri because she saw her do it, I don't think that it would be unrealistic for her to be able to harm herself if we now add the idea of her father being this type of person. Damn you, paranoia. She looks back at me, her gaze pleading with me for any kind of response. I sigh, resting my head on my neck as I rack my brain for something, anything. I'll try to bring it up to her at some point. Can't guarantee when that will be, but I promise. Sayuri smiles, seeming relieved. Just then the door opens. Both Yuri and Monika walk in, both smiling. I walk over to them. Hey, you two. How's things between you? I can see things improving. It seems things are improving. Yuri then turns to Monika. Also, thank you for the note. Honestly, helped me understand where you were coming from, and if you want to discuss anything personal, I'm always happy to listen. Thanks, Yuri. Monika then looks towards the rest of the club. Okay, everyone, it's time to share poems. The poem sharing was over as shortly as it had begun. Before we wrap up for the day, Monika calls out to us to gather near the front desk. First of all, I'm really glad that all of you are putting all this effort with writing with the poetry assignment. I know it's a lot to ask for fresh poems for every day, especially if the exam season is starting to kick off. And in all fairness, it's given me an idea for the poems. The rest of the club, including myself, look quizzically at Monika. I think I might have a decent guess as to what her plan is. I've been thinking about cutting the number of poems from I think I've been Great club president. I've been thinking about cutting the number of poems down from 5 per week to just 2. Wasn't it in the talking the other week anyway? Or like the other day? That way there's a better balance between revising your exams and visiting and writing for the club. Help me. Monika lets this idea settle for the rest of the club for a bit. Personally speaking, I think it would help with fleshing out the poems. Whilst I don't personally mind the extra workload, I can definitely understand if everyone else is struggling to make time for the poems. Regardless of any of the extra modules you're studying, it can still be difficult to balance everything. Plus, I can't deny I wouldn't appreciate the time to refine my poems. Gotta agree with Yuri on that one. Like, last night I wasn't able to finish it because those textbooks were kicking my ass. So I had to finish mine this morning. Sorry about my shitty handwriting, by the way. Language. Sorry, Yuri. For both the language and my shitty handwriting. What's about language anyway? Her language still isn't accurate. Like, I've seen like memes with Natsuki cussing a lot, but I didn't mind too much because it's just memes. But I feel like it's carried on to this mod a lot because Natsuki only cusses in Act 2, but Yuri also cusses in Act 2. Like a similar amount too. So I feel like it's the constant bombardment with like more intended to be funny like skits with the club members that include Natsuki cussing that like influence this mod a lot with Natsuki's speaking patterns. Natsuki caps off that tiny burst of sass with a trademark Natsuki grin. Yuri sighs at first, but eventually settles into a soft chuckle. How about you, Sayuri? Sorry? I think it's a solid idea. Like, maybe have it on Tuesday and Fridays? Tuesdays, not just Tuesday. Exactly what I was thinking! Sayuri beams at Monika. Monika looks over at me and I give a nod of approval. Oh, come on! You know Jasmine's just gonna agree with ya. No, that's not entirely true. But it is today because I think it's a good plan. Moni sends a smile my way. Natsuki just flashes me with a look that says called it. Kinda starting to see why Natsuki called me predictable that one time. So with that out the way, I think we can call it a day. Make sure to keep chipping away at the poem for Friday. No need to worry about getting one in tomorrow. And with that, we all go to pack our things. As of practically every day since last week, I sling my bag over my shoulder and walk towards Monika. You ready to go? Yeah, one sec. Monika pauses as she readjusts her bag strap. Let's go home. After just under a minute, Sayori joins us and the three of us are the last out of the club room. After giving us both a quick hug, Sayori heads back home, leaving myself and Monika alone in the street. I'm glad we get to be this close. I smile warmly as I entwine my fingers with Monika's. As am I. Monika gives my hand a squeeze. I know it's just barely been over a week, but part of me doesn't know what I'd do without you. Sure, some might consider that to be a bit, I don't know, extreme. But thinking about what she's been through, maybe she's happy to have someone she connects with. There are couples like that have not been through much and still. Although, in their cases, I think it might just be the media with this constant bombardment of relationships being, like, not just this wonderful thing always, but also I feel like there's a bit of pressure in trying to find a partner. So I feel like that might be why couples, even without any problems within like their any extreme problems like a verbally abusive parent, might tend to go a bit extreme sometimes. And maybe because it's a bit extreme sometimes, like here in this mod, represented as a bit extreme in the media. That's what I wanted to say. Maybe I mean more to her than I realized. I can feel my cheeks progressively heating up. Before I can say anything, Monica's phone starts to go off. Sorry, let me get this! Monika takes a few steps away from me as she answers her phone. It doesn't take for her smile to find its way back into her face. Oh, hey, Mom! What's up? The conversation carries on as I fiddle around with my keys. Eventually, though, the call ends and Monika turns back to me. So, that was Mom. Monika giggles a little before she speaks, also getting a little closer to me. You got any plans this weekend? Not right now, no. My face adopts a sly smirk. Why? Your mom say I can stay over? Monika goes a bit crimson. She then looks back towards me. Well, that's part of it. But the main reason I'm asking is because Mom wanted to know if you'd want to come with us for dinner this weekend. I... I'd love to, yeah. That is something I would do. Stammer just... I then realized something. One thing I got asked, though. Does your dad know your mom invited me? Not yet, no. I'm sure she'll tell him when he gets back. I nod. My nerves already starting to kick in. It seems that Monika's taking notice of this. Hey. Monika takes both my hands in hers and rubs the backs of them gently with her thumbs. She takes time to think about her response. I can imagine you've got not the best expression of Dad. And to be completely honest, I fully understand. She pulls herself a little closer to me. Maybe we can use the dinner to show him that he's wrong about you. I give the idea some thought. I then pull Monika closer to me, a smile returning to my face. It feels like a moment out of some cheesy romance movie, but I can't deny how much my heart races when she's around me. We can try. I give Monika a quick yet passionate kiss on the lips. She does the same, resting her hands on my hips. We soon pull away from each other, smiling whilst our cheeks look like ripe tomatoes. I'll call you when I'm home. I love you. Monika starts her own walk back home. I call out to her, love you too. I then walk to the door, unlock it, and head back inside. I make my way to the couch and sit down, slumping my back next to me as I do so. Well, I guess I now have something to look forward to this weekend. Knowing us, Molly and I were more than likely gonna go on another date, but having dinner with her seems like a nice change of pace. I'm still a little nervous about meeting her parents for the first time. Not to mention I'll definitely need to keep my tongue in check around her father. Just got to keep my chin up and hope for the best, I suppose. That being said, Saturday can't come quick enough. It's finally Saturday. Yeah, I don't need to go through the entire school again. I'm still a little bit groggy from the night before, but hey, that's what I get for staying up all night playing Doom with Ryuji. It was worth it just to relieve this exam stress. Plus, tiredness ain't nothing a shower and a couple dozen cups of coffee can't fix. I'll leave my bed and haul myself to the bathroom for a quick wash. Why do the edges here always tend to move when we go to the bathroom? Whilst the water soaks my skin, I reflect on the last few days. Besides mine and Moni's first minor argument and Monika opening up to Sayori, there wasn't much that really stuck out. And of course, today marks two firsts. I'm meeting Monika's parents for the first time and spending the night with Monika as well. And spending the night with Monika as well. Naturally, I'm nervous about both parts of tonight, but I'm actually getting to sleep with Monika tonight. Now, whilst I know for a fact that we won't try anything remotely lewd straight away, after all it's only been shy of 2 weeks, should I prepare just in case? No, that's a bloody awful idea. I don't want to watch that sort of thing, and God only knows Monika wouldn't either. Yeah, she wouldn't, given her monologues in Act 2 about we're not tried to keep the PG when sending images to my Twitter. Because we're not that far into our relationship. So I feel like she would be not that eager for smacks right away. I turn the shower off and step out. Why did I say smacks? I do sometimes say... do I? I grab a towel and dry myself off before wrapping the towel around me and heading back to my room. Upon entering, I pull a loose-fitting shirt and some flannel-patterned lounge pants from my closet and put them on. Since I'm not going up to Monika's till later tonight, I don't need to make myself presentable just yet. Speaking of tonight, Monika hasn't gotten back to me if I'll have to walk down myself or if her parents will be picking me up. I'm guessing I'll know later tonight. Mirrors then catch the sound of the door swinging open and then shutting, followed by audible and notably quick footsteps coming up the stairs. Footsteps that can only belong to Morning Jasmine! I knew it. Natsuki and I are heading down Akiba today. You coming with? I pause for a moment. Well, first off, thanks for knocking. But I didn't... Oh, wait. I give a smug smile. Time to use some of Sayo's own logic against her. Now, what about if I just started getting changed? Wouldn't be the first time now, would it? Sayo gives me a little shove as I laugh a little. Anyways, I would have come down, but I gotta get ready for my date with Monika. Yeah, I'm having dinner with her and her parents tonight. Why didn't you say so? You got an outfit ready? I mean, I still got... Sayori. Without me finishing my answer, Sayori rushes over to my closet and begins to rummage through it. I thought you were heading out with Nat. She can wait. I'm not letting you mess up your date. I blush and sigh as Sayori continues her search. No. Jesus! Just how dark is your closet? Sayori keeps searching until she suddenly halts, emitting an exaggerated sigh of disgust. What is it? Sayori marches towards me with a pair of mustard yellow jeans and an exceedingly garish green dress shirt. Ah, you found that? Why? Just why? Do you have this? She's looking at me like she saw me commit bloody murder. Well, I certainly murdered any shred of dignity I had when I bought that. Why the hell would you want to look like a human avocado? Like, at all? Well, it was a couple of years back. Mom dragged me to a work do. If I recall right, it was 90s themed, so I just chose the most garish combo I could get my hands on. Well, just be thankful I'm not Natsuki. She'd probably tell you to get committed. I chuckle a bit at that. She'd probably drag me there herself if she saw me in this. Probably, yeah. So I'm guessing that's a no on that? Burn it! I give a mock salute. Roger that. Sarah then throws the clothes on the bed and continues her search. I slide the garish pair under my bed. In retrospect, just what the hell was I thinking? Eventually, Sayori comes to me holding up a pair of trousers and a dress shirt. Of course, both are black. Look, this is all I could find. But I'm sure Monika won't mind. Sayori hands me the clothes and I neatly fold them up. How about you go in a dress? One of my friends once went to a date, like his first date, with a dress. And it seems to be working out since he's still together with that girl, so... Try some dresses! I know I was gonna sort it out myself, but thanks for helping out. Hey, it's no biggie. I could ask though, what are you doing after that? Oh yeah, I'm spending the night at Moni's. So, you're sleeping with Monika? Pretty much, yeah. You've bought protection, right? Christ's sake, Sayori! Just one simple yes or no question, Sayori manages to cause all my blood to migrate to my cheeks. As she lets up a storm, I cover my face, trying my best not to scream into them. Yep, Natsuki's sense of humor has definitely rubbed off on her. I then managed to muster up a sentence, albeit partially muffled by my hands. No, we're not gonna do that! I then moved my hands down my face, revealing my eyes as I looked towards my window. At least not right now.
Well, when you do, please keep it to yourselves.
Sierra scrunches her face, clearly dreading that day. My arms fall to my side and I can't help but smirk. Don't worry, it'll just be between Bonnie and I. Just then there's a trio of rapid knocks on the door. The pair of us make a beeline for the door. It's probably Natsuki, getting tired of waiting. I open the door to see Natsuki standing there. She must have knocked at Sayori's before realizing that she was here. Morning, Nat. Oh, she has that weird. that I've seen before. That weird. I then yawn. Wow. You look like shit. Natsuki grins proudly as she stifles a laugh. I half and sarcastically stick my thumbs up. Oh wait, that's a sigh. Thanks. Suya pushes past and gives Natsuki a hug.
Hey, Natsuki!
Sup, Sayo? Let me guess. Having the doofus with his homework?
No, if you wouldn't mind if that was the case. I helped Jasmine pick out an outfit for his dinner with Monika tonight.
Dinner, eh? Sounds a bit formal. It's nothing really.
Meeting her parents and sleeping with her doesn't sound like nothing.
Whoa! Wait a frickin' minute. You're doing what? A nervous laugh barely escapes my mouth. Phrasing goes a long way, Sayori. Try not to wake her parents up, I guess. Natsuki seems more confused than anything. Is that seriously a thought that comes to, like, other people when they're, like, in a relationship? Actually, there are, like, 2 relationships where I also tend to make, like, jokes of like, similar caliber. With the others, I don't do it as much because I know, in one case, the person is very sex repulsed. In the second case, maybe he's sex repulsed. I don't know, though. Oh wait, I have 2 people where I know. 2 people in relationships that I know are sex repulsed. And the other is like up in the air. And then another person that's sex repulsed, but he's not in a relationship anyway and isn't planning on it anytime soon. I sigh. Sure, whatever. Natsuki playfully jabs my shoulder. Well, you crazy kids have fun! She then turns to Sayori.
You ready to go? Yeah. Good luck tonight, Jasmine!
At that, the pair of them start the long walk to the train station. Just as I'm about to head back inside, my notification tone goes off. I take my phone from my pocket and turn the screen on. 4 new messages from Monika with a heart. I put in my PIN number and read her messages. Hey babe. Wait, that wasn't a... Hey babe, sorry I didn't tell you sooner, but you'll have to come to mine tonight. That's still RC about you staying. Address is 1428 Secura Street, by the way. And yes, I know you can say 1428, but I'm not sure. Like... See you at 5. XX. I only found out recently what this with these X's and these O's stand for. I make a little reminder of Monika's address and the time before heading back inside. And the time before heading to hers. I make my way into the kitchen to finally get myself some breakfast. Bloody stomach's been rumbling since I woke up. I check the fridge and, to my relief, there is still some bacon left. I get the leftovers out and start to ready up a pan. All they ever eat is like cereals or bacon. Before I start cooking though, I think of Monty's texts, mostly the one concerning her dad. I kind of figured he wouldn't be thrilled with having his daughter's boyfriend over in any capacity. Let's just hope when he sees my face for the first time that he doesn't cause a scene on the spot. Oh well, I got a little over 8 hours to prep, so it should be good. I'm more excited about seeing Monika, of course. Just 8 painstaking hours to go. One final check around my face for any spots where I may have missed whilst going over my stubble. I feel presentable enough for tonight. As I walk back towards my bedroom, I catch a glimpse of my reflection in the mirror. Fucking hell, I actually looked semi-decent. That's good. I whisk up the bag I'd left at the edge of my bed. It only has a few things: pajamas, toothbrush, as well as a change of clothes for tomorrow. I decide to leave Mom a text letting her know I'm about to leave for Monty's and that I'll be locking the door. Then again, I don't think Mom's gonna be back till later, as she's going out for dinner herself with a guy from the office. Mamo, I think she said his name was. Returning my focus to my own situation, I swing my back over my shoulder and check the time on my phone. 4:26 p.m. Should be plenty of time to get to Monika's. If I don't get lost on the way there, that is. I then make my way outside. The sunlight hits my eyes before I turn and lock the door. I then take my phone and go to my Maps app. I enter Monika's address and, soon enough, the app comes up with a route there. Roughly 20-minute there. Okay. I take a deep breath. You can do this, Jasmine. I start the trip there. We're going there! There, look, a house. A house soon comes into view. Unlike the others, it stands on its own. I take a step closer and see the house number clearly. 1428. That's it, that's the one! Reassured, I go up to the door and knock. Through the single open window, I hear a pair of voices debating who should open the door. One of them is clearly Monika's. Soon enough, the door clicks and opens up. Ooh! In a dress! I like the dress. You made it! Hey, Jasmine! Monika closes the door behind her. Hey. Her single response trails off as soon as other words escape me. She looks bloody radiant. We certainly really love and say bloody. What was it? English? Let's come in English? But yeah, she certainly does look radiant. And hey, she's wearing black too! Cool! My nose is stuffed, I'm sorry. It's not a color I expect to see her in, but it really suits her. Given the fact that she doesn't have like any colors like Natsuki and Yuri, I feel like she can pull off many types of colors. Like with Natsuki and Yuri, they need to make sure that like their outfit doesn't like clash with their hair too. That's something that normal people don't need to worry about. I'm guessing you like the dress? You've been staring for a while now. A little while. Shit, sorry. I blush a little. Yeah, you look gorgeous. Monika giggles cutely. Thanks. You're looking pretty fine yourself. I chuckle and smirk. Nah, that's all you. Do you even think of what I'm saying sometimes? I run my hand down her arm and gently squeeze her hand in my own. We just stand there for a moment, letting the early evening breeze surround us. To our shared surprise, the door opens once again, a slender figure walking out. Ah, the mom. What was the voice I gave the mom? I'm guessing this is the Jasmine you keep gushing about, Nani. It is. Monica blushes a bit at her mother's comment. Yeah, I'm Jasmine. It's nice to meet you, Miss Hirai. Monica's mom smiles gently, giving a comforting vibe. It's nice to meet you too. Monica said some wonderful things about you. And please, call me Harumi. Harumi. Harumi or Harumi? Monica then comes up to me, noticing the bag I brought with me. You want me to take that up to my room? You sure? Like, I don't mind taking... I'm sure! Despite being slightly taken aback by her reply, I comply and give her the bag. Hello? I was pressing the right button. Nerves, I guess. I don't blame her. I was the same when I was her age. That makes two of us. Like, I've been nervous all morning. And that is not an exaggeration. Then another figure walks out the door. This time he's wearing a black suit and seems to have an average build, not too slim but not too stocky. Aha. Oh god, I don't know what voice to give him. Harumi, why did Monika just run upstairs? She's just putting Jasmine's things upstairs, Daisuke. She then grumbled something before looking in my direction. The moment his eyes meet mine, I feel my breath stop itself from leaving my throat. Here I am, face to face with Monika. Monika, father. Everything that she had told me about him still remains fresh in my mind. I always dreaded this day to some extent, mainly because I didn't exactly know how I would react to seeing him. But I promised myself I'd keep myself in check. Mostly for Monika's sake, but also because I don't fancy getting punched in the face tonight. Is he punchy? He soon speaks up, his delivery being fairly deadpan. I'm assuming that you're Jasmine. I nod rather sheepishly, my blood running cold. Yeah, that's me. Trying to at least appear polite, I raise my arm and offer a handshake. It takes him a minute to reciprocate, but eventually he does. However, his grip is firm. Deliberately so. He releases me soon after, and I gently massage my right hand. He doesn't say anything else to me. Even if he hasn't outright said that he doesn't want me there, he's definitely giving off those vibes. And by the look in her eyes, I think Harumi can tell with that as well. She goes to say something, but Monika soon rejoins us. I'm back! Monika then looks back to me. I just put your stuff in my bed. I nod. Monika's dad then goes to lock the door. A bead of sweat runs down Monika's face. Clearly she's nervous about tonight. And quite honestly, I can't blame her. I watch out of the corner of my eye as Monika's dad approaches his car to unlock it. Afterwards, he runs his head towards us. He turns his head towards the three of us. Get in. Get in. His tone sounds a little more gruff than expected, clearly showing irritation. Oh, bye. Oh boy, tonight's gonna be just swell. I guess so. The three of us shuffle into the car and then start a journey to the restaurant. There aren't many words on the way there. Just this increasingly tense silence. It took us just over an hour to get to the restaurant, but thankfully we were able to arrive with no arguments. In all fairness, the only two people to speak during the trip were Monika and Harumi. Even then, it wasn't much to break the seeming tension. As for the restaurant itself, it honestly looks really nice. And quite expensive as well. Yeah. Honestly reminds me of a restaurant we have in a cinema. Then again, Monica's family are better off finance-wise. The tables are laid out neatly, and there's a long blue light illuminating the place. A suited waiter guides us to our table and takes our orders. Feeling a bit unsure, I just opt for a steak. Why do I feel so out of place here? At least I'm thankful I'm not the only one paying. I'm not the one paying. As Monica's parents go to pay for the food, Monika turns to me. She rests a hand on my knee. Still feeling a little nervous, Jasmine? She keeps her voice gentle and low. I keep my voice low as well. A little, yeah. You? She nods. To be honest, it's not this that I'm nervous about. It's when we get back to mine. I rest my hand over hers and give it a gentle squeeze. I mean, he's not really paid me much mind so far. Like, a big part of me thought he was gonna have my throat. No, he's not. Monika's eyes quickly dart over to her parents, and her voice trails off. I go to say something, but the sight of her parents, more so her father, silence those ideas. Monika quickly forces a smile as her parents rejoin the table. Our food should be here in 45 minutes. Harumi sits down with a smile for myself and Monika. As for Daisuke, he wears a rather neutral expression, bordering on being dead inside. Honestly, due to the soft blush they gave him, and due to the way his eyebrows are currently shaped, he honestly doesn't look that dead inside. There's silence between the four of us, aside from the occasional sip from Harumi. Of course, I know it's just a sprite. But honestly, when he came outside, I was like, I had expected him to look much, much more, I don't know, aggressive. Or serious, but he honestly looked like a little sweet when he came outside. There's silence between the four of us, aside from the occasional sip from Harumi. Around us, there's the clattering of plates and glasses from the other parties. Eventually, Harumi speaks up. So I was waiting till I met Jasmine to ask this. How'd you two meet? Harumi's sudden question brings Monika back from a seeming daydream. Monika then turns to me. You mind taking this one? I racked my brain to form a coherent but rather abridged recap of the last few weeks. So, you know how Moni runs the literature club at school? Monika's mother nods, listening on. Well, that's the first time we talked since second year. We shared English class and worked together pretty much all the time. I gotta be honest, I'm surprised no one back then thought we were a couple. And even if there were people that did, well, it only took them to just shy of 2 weeks to be proven right. It took them just shy of, okay. Monika giggles gently. Then you joined the literature club, and it was almost like we picked up from where we left off. She smiles dreamily at me, seeming to reflect fondly on our past. Those few days after were a little tense, if that's the word for it. Saturday was fun, though. I remember how excited you just got the night before. She almost confessed that day. Admittedly, I was always planning to confess during the festival. I just wish it would have been under better circumstances. My heart sings a bit as soon as I say that, knowing Harumi will probably wonder what I'm on about. But if Monika and Harumi's expressions change. Monika looks worried and Harumi looks a bit confused. To my surprise, Monika's dad speaks to Monika for the first time since they came over. I thought you said the festival went well. Monika looks away with regret in her eyes. I go to rest my hand on her knee, but she moves her leg away and I awkwardly retract my hand. She sighs through parted lips. Whilst Daisuke looks slightly irritated, Harumi looks disheartened. Me and my big mouth. No, the festival didn't go well. In fact, it went horribly. After the third, maybe fourth run of the recital, we ended up cancelling because it was worse than we'd imagined. She pauses to take a breath before continuing. I ended up storming off and Jasmine came after me. A soft smile then returns to Monika's face. Then we talked it out and eventually we confessed to each other. Monika, you could have told us that it didn't go well. I didn't want to seem like a complete failure again. You're not a failure. You never have been. I just wish you would have told us about what happened. You know, it worries me when you hide stuff like that. Daisuke mutters something under his breath. Mon looks over to me, once again regret in her eyes. The tension is then dissipated by the arrival of our table's food. It smells as good as it looks. Soon, the only sound between the four of us are the clattering of utensils against ceramic plates and ever so slightly audible sounds of chewing. God, I hate sounds of chewing. I'm pretty sure I have misophonia. Towards chewing, at least. But it's worse with some people than with others. But I don't know why. As for my steak, it's exceedingly tender. I'm no expert when it comes to food, unless it comes to instant ramen and fried chicken, but this is probably the best steak I've had. Daisuke soon addresses me directly. So, Jasmine? I respond wordlessly as I'm still eating. Have you made any plans for after you finish high school? Pause for a moment to swallow. I was actually thinking of applying to Hokkaido University. I see. Might I ask why haven't you already applied? His tone gets weirdly confrontational. Well, the last couple of days have been quite stressful. Why Hokkaido University of all places, might I ask? I didn't sign up for a fucking interrogation tonight. I mean, it's close to home, and it's got a very promising music production course there. Monika mentioned you were a musician. I nod. Yep, my mother helped me with getting into that. Harumi smiles nervously, trying her best to ease the seeming tension between Daisuke and myself. And what are your plans if that doesn't work out? I haven't thought of a clear plan yet, but I'm sure I'll think of something. Daisuke grumbles something under his breath and averts his eyes from me. Part of me wants to question what exactly he just said, but I told myself I wasn't going to cause a rift. Out of the corner of my eye, I see Monika mouth something with an understandably irritated look on her face. Daisuke then turns to face her. What about you, Monika? Have you filed the application for Tenchi yet? Isn't that the private business school? No, not yet. May I ask why? Daisuke's tone gets noticeably sharper when addressing Monika. To be completely fair, the way he's acting is making me slightly uncomfortable. Because I don't personally think a private school would be the best move for me. Plus, I don't have a solid idea on what I want to do. Heck, part of me has been considering getting back into music because of Jasmine. After Monika's tried, I'm a little stunned. I've never seen Monika get that blunt with anyone before. Of course, as soon as I get fired up, I shudder as I think back to her outburst at me and Yuri. But just how long has her dad been badgering her about Tenchi? Given just how fed up she sounds, I'm guessing it's been for a while. Daisuke's brow sharpens, and I notice his hand tense up. In response, Monika shrinks into her seat. I step between them, fearing what may happen next. The pair of you, cut it out! Harumi's sudden interjection is harsh and desperate. Monika is the first to back down, shortly followed by her father. I make a quick glance around us. There are more than a few eyes focus on our table. More than enough to make me feel a little uneasy. We then continue to eat our dinner in silence. Much like the journey here, it's a very heavy silence. Now I'm just worried what would have happened if Harumi hadn't stepped in. For some reason I feel a lump in my throat. I kept some of the lukewarm water and over my face. The feeling of the warmth soaking my skin helps provide some relief from the stress that I've been able to mask for a decent chunk of the night. As soon as we got back, Harumi and Daisuke stayed out downstairs while Monika and I went straight upstairs. Monika opted to get changed as soon as we got upstairs, meaning her room was temporarily off limits for me. At least she was nice enough to hand me my pajamas to change in the bathroom. After drying my face, I pick up my clothes and walk over to Monika's room. As I shut the door behind and approach Moni's room, I overhear the sound of glass bottles clattering. Not long after, I hear Harumi get quite obviously annoyed. Seriously, another one! That's the third bottle you've had since we got back! Tomorrow's my one day off. I don't see any issue. Shaking my head, I knock on Monika's door. It's open! She's certainly perked up since we got back. I open the door and let myself in. Sorry, I need to move my bottles for a moment. My own bottles, but I don't drink, so it's water bottles. Oh, I actually wanted to do this to look at the pajamas for a moment. I think you just said hi, Jasmine. Hey. Hey, Jasmine. I'm just gonna get some water. I'll be right back. Monika rushes out almost as soon as I enter. Luckily, she should only be gone for a couple of minutes or so. Or two. In the meantime, I just stretch and let out a long yawn. Quite frankly, I just want to sleep with my arms draped around Monika. I go to rest my hand on the desk. And then, to my surprise, I feel something. I look down and my eyes meet a small orange container. I read the label and one word sticks out. Mirtazapine? Isn't that for treating... My heart sinks at my realization. Curiosity taking over, I pick up the plastic bottle. Before I can read any further, though, the door clicks open. I'm back, love! What'd you say? You wanna sleep? Oh. So you found those. I turn to see Monika with an exceedingly downcast look on her face. Monika. My voice shakes slightly as I set the bottle on the desk. I sigh slightly. I am sorry, Monika. I shouldn't have known, Jasmine. You're bound to find out eventually. She looks back at me, tears starting to form in the corners of her eyes. It's a look I remember well from not just the festival, but even the first day we spent time together outside of school. Monika wordlessly walks past me, starting to face the wall. I come up behind her and rest a hand on her shoulder. You should leave. It's for your own good. Wait, what? No, I'm not gonna leave. My response becomes a tinge blunter than I had intended. She then turns to face me, tears underlining her eyes. Yet she remains silent. Desperation enters my mind. When were you gonna tell me? About this? Monika then averts her gaze. I wasn't. She speaks softly through parted lips. I never even wanted you to know in the first place. My eyes widen ever so slightly. I can only ask myself why. Why wouldn't she want me to know about this? Before I can even begin to think about how to word my question, she lets out a tired chuckle. I'm still surprised you've put up with me for this long. Monika, what the hell are you saying? Monika's eyes still lock onto mine. Her expression is direct. Jasmine, I'm needy, bitchy, and borderline possessive. Not to even go into my depression, and God only knows whatever else is wrong with me. Also, it was intended for depression. I know that isn't gonna be any good for you in the long run. None of it is. And those... She gestures towards the bottle. They only help so much. And I'm genuinely scared that they're the only thing keeping me from... You know... She then rests both both hands on her shoulders and takes a deep breath. Monika, you're not needy. You're certainly not bitchy. And if you were really that possessive, wouldn't you have stopped Yuri Natsuki and Sayori from hanging around me by now? Monika takes a deep breath and eventually nods. Oh, I suppose you're right. Monika then wipes her tear eyes. Cries on the wreck. Moni, Jasmine. Monika's expression narrows once more. You know that point in the movie where you want to scream at the characters before they do something stupid? This is that moment. You need to go. Please, Jasmine. Before I fuck up your life too. Because if I can't even help myself, what chance do you have? If I accidentally hurt you by doing something stupid, then I could never forgive myself. Monika's voice breaks as she says that. Once again, she's on the verge of crying. I'm beyond stunned. Of course, I really knew a small fraction of that what was going on within Monika, even her suicidal thoughts. But even now, she's seemingly convinced herself that she's beyond help. After taking a moment to process everything she just said, I grip her hands firmly and pull her a little closer. I'm staying. Monika looks back at me, seeming perplexed by response. Look, Monika, I love you. I know that I won't be able to fix your depression, but I'm gonna do my damn hardest to support you. I understand that things like this take time. But this time, I'll gladly use to support you, get you the help you need, and spending time with you. Monika, every moment with you is time I absolutely treasure. It's time I wouldn't trade for anything or anyone else. I love you, imperfections and all. And I'm sure as hell not going to give up on you. No matter how tough it gets, I'm staying. I end up holding back tears of my own by the time I finished. Monika eventually gives a little gentle yet still teary-eyed smile. I love you. You must be some kind of masochist if you're really sure about staying with me. That manages to get a brief chuckle out of me. In that case, I'm a masochist who loves you dearly. I squeeze her hands gently. I then release her and she takes a step back. I'm just gonna get my ribbon out. Could you go over there and turn the light off? Of course, yeah. As asked, I go towards the light switch and flick it off. Not long after the light goes off, I hear Monika approach me. Jasmine? Her voice oozes invitation. Upon instinct, I turn to face her. Before I can even respond to her, she yanks me towards her by my shirt and passionately presses her lips against mine. My body first tenses up, but it quickly relaxes against Monika's grip. Unlike the numerous other times we've kissed, her passion is front and center. Her grip is firm and the sensation of her touch is tangible. As I settle into her grasp, I kiss her back, trying to match her passion. I eventually lose track of how much time we spent like this. There's nothing more I want than protect her and everything we have between us. At the same time, though, the way she's talking has me immensely concerned. Coupling that with her dad's seeming disdain for his own damn daughter, it only cements the idea of a very uncertain future in my head. It's a prospect that some people would more than likely shudder at, but it's a risk I'm willing to take. After what feels like a blissful eternity, Monika inches her face away, but she keeps relatively close. In reality, the kiss may have only lasted for a few minutes, but it was worth every single minute. She partially lifts her eyelids, wearing a dreamy smirk on her face. You wanna head to bed? It may only have just have gone 9 o'clock, but an early night wouldn't hurt. Yeah, I do. We both release each other and head towards Monika's bed. As soon as we climb in and pull the covers over us, I feel Monika's finger tugging at my shirt. I raise my left arm and she drapes her arm across me and rests her head on my chest. After she's made herself as comfortable as she possibly can, I rest my arm across her back. It takes time, but I soon feel myself drifting off to sleep, peacefully together with the girl I love dearly. So I'll talk about that moment? Yeah, I'll talk about that moment now. Generally, I didn't really have any problems with that moment, although I do feel like jumping from sadness into passionate kissing is not something I would deem something that many people would do, but I'm not gonna consider it impossible an impossible way for events to transpire. Generally, I don't mind anything they said. Aside from the masochist comment, but that's like a personal issue I have. But that's just really, that's completely just personal. Like with others, I can be like, yeah, but it could be maybe dangerous because I know we refer dangerous towards my friends, but this is just my personal, like, I hate comments like this. But, at least in specific contexts like these, of course. But yeah, about Monika's characterization there and the relationship, I feel like the way the relationship is presented with her depression could have been what? I wanted to say something, but I forgot. Anyway, about her character then might as well. I don't feel like Monika... It would make any sense for Monika to be exactly depressed. And especially in the side story Trust, which is literally about both of them learning to trust themselves with, well, like, the other with some of their intense vulnerabilities and starting to express their immense struggles. I feel like it would have made more sense there, but I suppose it's just this idea they now have. And like the idea for the mod, I suppose. At the beginning I didn't really mind it so much because I forgot the name. The medication, as far as I know, is also for treating like other mental illnesses. It's mostly for depression, I'm pretty sure, but I just wanted to not believe it, but because like there are like I'm pretty sure OCD and anxiety maybe can also be that it can also be for that, and I felt like maybe it was going to like one of those directions maybe as well. But I suppose we're going into depression, which I feel like I think my problem was that I'm a relationship with someone who's depressed. I feel would look a bit different, but I feel like that idea I currently have from what I've seen with people is that they're with my other friends struggling with depression in relationships. They haven't really found good treatment yet, neither from a professional, don't get me started on that. They have a bit of support groups, they have generally a good support system that's helping them, and they have tried some of the medication, but it doesn't work most of the time. No real side effects, but nothing real like positive stemming either from it exactly. Just like trying out things. So since she's being treated with like medication, I feel like maybe it could make sense for the relationship to work. Like I feel like what I'm currently imagining a relationship with someone with depression would be like is heavily impacted by how relationships with my friends look like. But even between them, it all looks different, so I feel like it actually could make sense to work, especially with her already getting treatment. Sorry. I spilled my water. Very badly, too. Okay. Give me a second. Okay, I'm back. I'm really sorry about that. I think I think I made my water. I filled my water bottle. My water bottle too much. Okay. Okay, I'm alive. I'm alive. And I groggily open my eyes. Wow, there were so many tense moments now, and I'm here spilling my water. I look towards the slight gap between the curtains and the window. It's still night. I looked onto Monika. It seems that in the how many ever hours we'd slept, Monika had been able to wriggle out of my arm. Monika had been able to wriggle out of my arm and is currently curled up next to me. Making a tired smirk, I tried to get up off the bed without waking her up. I looked at the lone desk and checked my phone. 11:08 p.m. Huh. Here I was thinking it was at least past midnight. As I set my phone down, I feel a slight pain in my stomach. I think I need some water. I leave the room and once again trying my hardest to not wake Monika. When I inch the door shut, I stand in the hallway for a moment to allow my eyes to readjust to my surroundings. I turn my head to look down the staircase. As I do so, my ears begin to pick up the sounds of the television downstairs. It sounds like some run-of-the-mill comedy program. I rub my eyes and head straight for the kitchen. They have a very similar kitchen to his. I scan the cupboards for a glass. I can hear some voices come from the other room, but everything's still a little fuzzy. After eventually finding a small glass, I grab it, close the cupboard, and go towards the sink. As I'm running the water, the voices start to register a bit clearer. One in particular. I mean, did you even see the look she gave me? Do you exactly blame her? You've been at her for this since last year. Early suspicions confirmed, I guess. I hear Dicey groan. And I doubt she's forgiven you for making her panic about Jasmine. Oh, wait. Fuck! And I doubt she's forgiven you for making her panic about Jasmine. Don't get me started on that lanky, pasty-faced cunt. Daisuke! Harumi's voice is hushed and clearly frustrated. You know this upstairs and you're really saying that? Look, I'm just saying how I see it. I'm sorry if you don't like that. Besides, they're probably doing something stupid anyway. He scoffs. That's Monika's problem. She does things and she doesn't even think of the consequences. Luckily for her, she's got someone to revel in that stupidity with. I stop drinking and my breathing slows to a deep crawl. I don't even know how to feel. I'm angry, confused, heartbroken. Just so many things that I understand but can't explain. I then hear the creaking of a sofa shortly followed by footsteps. With the way she's been with me, she better count herself lucky I even let Jasmine step one foot in my house. Desiree then walks into the kitchen and heads straight for the fridge, not even noticing me. Now, if I'm careful enough, I could possibly place the glass next to the sink without making too much noise. Should be easier, damn it! Thanks, I was shaking my hand with, the glass ended clattering with the other assorted mugs and glasses that were already there. I turned to face the fridge to see if he'd noticed me. As predicted, he had. He's just standing there, another bottle held firmly in his hand. Hey. Sorry about the noise. I was just kidding. My voice shakes and trails off under the intensity of his stare. For some reason, it sends a shiver down my spine. I remained silent for a moment, as does he. I'll just head back upstairs. Make it quick. His tone is rather gruff and demanding. He leaves almost immediately after speaking to me. I rush upstairs, immediately shaken by the small exchange and everything I had previously heard. I'm able to sneak back into Monika's room without waking her. My heartbeat starts to revert back to its past steadiness. After a few more breaths to steady myself, I get back into bed. I then curl up behind her and attempt to wrap my arms around her. It's easy to do so with my right arm, but with my left I have to carefully inch my arm between her hip and the mattress. She stirs a little, but I'm thankfully successful besides that. Either that or she's a heavy sleeper. I then rest my head against her shoulder and close my eyes. Well, that faded out quickly. For the most part, I'm able to distract myself from what I'd overheard Isaac say. Sure, it shook me up, but I'm not planning on letting him ruin the time I share with Monika. I think to myself for a moment. Moni said that part of her might have been considering getting back to music. I might have an idea for what we can do tomorrow. Ooh, music. I let out a long yawn as I opened my eyes and stretched my right arm. My left arm feels a little numb, though. Maybe there might have been a better way to get it around Moni? Oh well, there's always next time. I then hear my phone go off from across the room. After carefully pulling my arm from underneath my girlfriend, I go over to check who's texting me. As soon as I turn my screen on, I have to almost immediately turn the brightness down. I swear I'm gonna go blind because of that one day. Actually, having your screen as not as bright is actually also very bad for your eyes. When my right eyes readjust, I find that I've gotten 1 new text from Mom and 12 from Sayori. Is it gonna be anything weird? I'm not even gonna try to pretend that it isn't gonna be anything weird. I'm guessing she had another late night. It's nothing I can complain about. I've done it more times than I'd honestly like to admit. Why was it so hard for me to say that? I decide to check Mom's message first. She's just checking how last night went. I just sent a quick message back. Yeah, it went well for the most part. Don't think Money's dad likes me, though. That's putting it lightly. I put my phone in my pocket and look back at Monika. A smile forms across my face. She's at peace, and she's bloody adorable. I can't stay though, as my stomach is aching. As I step out into the hallway, I rub the traces of sleep from my eyes. I know the pair of us like to say that being with each other has helped us sleep better, but last night I genuinely believe I slept the best I have for a while. Though that might just be me feeling all lovey-dovey, as Natsuki would probably say. And that's a valid way to put it, too. I start to head downstairs. As I head into the kitchen, the sound of snoring becomes more and more apparent by the minute. Before I figure out what I'm having for breakfast, I peek into the front room and spot Daisuke asleep on the sofa. I'm guessing Harumi eventually grew tired of his drunken rambling. After that slight detour, I search the kitchen and eventually find some bread. Toast is always a safe bet. Once I sorted out my breakfast, I stood at the table and start to scroll through Sayori's texts. At least they're doing toast now. For the most part, it's just a bunch of photos of her and Natsuki's trip to Akihabara. However, I eventually see it in actual text. Upon initially reading it, I'm confused. I read it out loud, being as quiet as I can. What was your mom doing at Nat's? Huh? As far as I knew, she was going out with Mamo from her work. Wait, isn't her father, also dating? Maybe they are dating each other. Is she? Oh. But if they're dating each other, Natsu will become our stepsister. As far as I know, she was going to have Mom for work. If she was, then where should she be at now? As soon as it hits me, my jaw hangs. Is he really Natsuki's? I rest my head in my hands. Better prepare myself for an awkward day at the club tomorrow. I then feel a finger tap my shoulder. Huh? Jasmine, it's just me. You want some coffee? You look tired. A smile comes my face as I see Monika. I yawn gently and rub my eyes. Morning, gorgeous. I give Monika a big, goofy smile and she blushes. Oh, Jasmine, you're so sweet. But seriously, I am making you coffee. I'm not having you pass out on my table. Monika quickly makes a start on our drinks. I was silent for a moment because I was thinking, what would be so bad about that? I can't help but chuckle at how insistent she got over coffee of all things. Though I suppose that's on brand for her. In time, she finishes both mugs and brings them over. After she does so, she pulls out a chair and sits next to me. I'm guessing you didn't sleep too well. Kinda. I only woke up once, but besides that, I slept pretty good. For the time being, I decided to leave out what happened when I was up. Sorry, mostly due to Daisuke being asleep in the next room. Who's to say when he'd wake up? Oh, sorry, that's a bit of an odd question. Especially since we've only just gotten up and all. But what do you want to do today? For once in my life, I'm able to hold in an obvious dirty joke. My brain still needs time to wake up. Besides, it's way too early for that. Well, that was one idea I had. I rest my hand on top of Monika's hand as I give her a soft smile. In typical fashion, she does the same. You said you were thinking about getting back into music, right? I am, yeah. Why? You want to try to make some music with me? Yeah. How do you know if I was gonna say that? I know this is probably gonna sound like I'm calling you predictable, but it just sounds like a very you thing to suggest, you know? I mean, I can't say she's entirely wrong about that. It's simply implied in the question. Like, when someone asks, "Wanna do?" You said you liked this. When you ask, "What do you want to do today?" and the other person says, "You said you like that, right?" Or they said you're interested in that, right? Then not everyone, but I'm pretty sure quite a few people would assume that maybe you want to do something in regards to that specific thing you're interested in or like. I just thought it'd be a nice thing to do together. So, would you be up for it? I'd love to! Just a point in advance, I'm gonna be rusty as hell. I know, I don't mind helping you, Moni. I know. Just no reason to love you. Anyway, I'm gonna get a shower. And no, you can't join. She says it in a strict but still very much joking tone. Monika goes upstairs with an excited bounce on her step. After finishing up my toes, I go upstairs to get dressed myself. I pick up the bag I brought with me and tip the clothes out from it. It's only the basics, a shirt, some jeans, as well as a change of boxers and socks. I get changed relatively quick and then brush my hair back with my hand. Now I just have to wait for Monika to finish up in the shower. After a few minutes, I finally hear the door click open. Oh, another more nice clothes. I like the clothes people give her. I'm ready, love. I am once again in awe over how amazing Monika looks. I guess so. Do you like the shirt? I got it last Christmas, but I never felt that it was the right time to wear it. I roll my eyes and laugh a little. Well, you look great. I swear, you're my biggest confidence booster. Well, I'm glad I could help. We share a quick hug. You wanna head out now? Sure, why not? I'll just let Mom know. Before we leave her room, I grab my bag, now packed with all my clothes from last night. I end up idly waiting in the hallway whilst Monika I was already with Natsuki again. Whilst Monika lets Harumi know that she'll be out. However, perhaps due to the new deathly silence, I'm able to pick up some of what's being said. You okay? Of course, yeah. Mom, you've been crying again. There's a moment of silence. There's one word that lingers in my mind, again. Christ, is how much of a constant is not how much of a constant is Daisuke's behavior? And that in mind, just how long has he been this way? Did he, no he didn't. He's had a few choice things, raised his voice a bit. He hasn't gotten physical with me for a few months now. My bloodstream runs cold. Those worries from last night come flooding back at a breakneck pace. I slink back against the wall as my bag slips out of my now shaking hands. I grip the side of my head and look down to the floor. No matter how far I attempt to push back any thoughts of harm coming to Monika, they don't budge. They just remain there like a progressively worsening itch. I know we've not even been together that long. I can't bear the thought of that bastard laying a finger on her. I need to get her out of here. Jasmine, please say something. You're scaring me. My attention mini snaps back towards Monika. I'm wordless for a moment before finally responding. Sorry, hun. No, Jasmine. If something's bothering you, you don't have to hide it. I debate telling Monika the obvious truth, but seemingly the puzzle pieces click together. You heard? No! I tried to keep my voice down. I then sigh. A little bit, yeah. Monika then sighs through parted lips. This is why I told you to go. Monika. I already said it last night, I'm staying. I promise that. My words get stuck in my throat. I desperately want to get her away from here, but I can't help but feel that it'd be coming off as forceful. In a twisted way, Daisuke was right about one thing. I don't have a fucking clue what I'd be doing if things went sideways. Despite how optimistic I want to be, I'm petrified for what the worst possible outcome could be. I take a moment to collect myself. I raise my hands and gently wipe Monika's tears with my thumbs. Let's get out of here. I speak with a soft, slightly worried smile. I'd like that. She beams as she gently pulls my hands down from her rosy cheeks. I then pick up my bag again before heading out with Monika. Before we head out, I feel like there was a lot of inspiration taken from Natsuki's father and given to Monika while they relieved any sign of Natsuki's controlling father. And, I feel like it is a bit very inspired by it. And it's starting to leave the realm of what I feel like makes sense for Monika even in the side stories. Once we're outside, Monika shuts the door as quietly as possible while I tray off towards the road. It doesn't take her long to come back. She takes my hand and we then begin the rather lengthy walk back to mine. It's a silent walk back, but not because of any tangible awkwardness. We just walk along, letting the gentle breeze surround us. But at the same time, I cannot but think back to what lurks behind her door. She's away from him for now. Yeah, it feels like very inspired by Natsuki's father in the exit music parts of it, and I feel like this is a different character. Her struggles could be related to home issues, although you don't need to get too intense there. Her general struggle is like this perfectionism. And Natsuki's struggle is like with her being surrounded by unpleasant people, such as her controlling father and her unpleasant friends, ex-friends here. And I feel like the perfectionism is touched upon in here, but it feels like they're less putting they're not focusing on the perfectionism as a struggle of Monica's, as a struggle we know she has, as we have seen she has in the main game and the side stories, and instead focusing on her father, which appears to be very inspired by the idea of Natsuki's father, or like what Natsuki's father might be like in Act 2. And I don't know if I feel like other things might have fit better for a story surrounding Monika. But it's only temporary.